What's up, Drill Season TV family? This is your boy Drilly back with a Drill Season TV update. This is a little edition I want to call Drill Season Convos. I just want to talk to y'all. The topic today is non-entertainers becoming famous all around the world. So I guess the question is, are they famous or are they infamous? And are they fans or are they fanatics, right? So we're going to use 051 Melly as our model for this conversation. We know who 051 Melly is, Yarmel Williams. We know what he's allegedly done in the street, his work, you know. We know what he allegedly done and what he was allegedly about. But we also know that he wasn't a rapper. You know, he had a couple of rapper friends. King Louie, FBG Duck. He hung in a couple of circles. You know what I mean? He was clouded. I guess that's the word we can use. He was definitely clouded up in the streets of Chicago. Right? But how does that translate to, let's say, Great Britain? Some shit like that, like Ireland. How do they know who 051 Melly is? The man isn't a rapper. You know what I mean? You go to every comment section of every video. You see people from all walks of life. You know what I mean? What was it? When was it that he got famous? You know, he was alive and his Instagram was busting in with guys from all over the damn place. It's crazy because he wasn't, he's not alive to enjoy whatever this would have brought for him. You know, I guess at this point he probably would have started rhyming, right? So the question is, how does a non-entertainer become famous all around the world? Did somebody hear a news story somewhere? You know, we know FBG Duck used to go live a little bit, but does that cause a guy like 051 Melly to be famous? Or, like I said, or infamous? Right? And so let's talk about it, right? If you're not an entertainer, can you have fans? That sounds like more of an obsession to me. Right? What the fuck are you a fan of? Right? So you're a fan of the alleged work? See, now, if you're from Chicago, you're in Chicago, and you actually know Melly, you know what I mean? I could say, yeah, you can be a fan of the work. Right? That work probably benefits you. You know? So I get that. I understand how a gangster can be a local celebrity in their hoods and a couple of hoods like that. I can understand that. You know, I can understand how the girls can turn you up too in a couple of hoods if you that nigga, right? But this dude is famous everywhere. Y'all remember John Gotti? You know, he was the mob leader of the Gotti family. Took out Paul Castellano to become the boss of all bosses. John Gotti was flashy and he used to wear the jewelry with the $5,000 suits and shit, you know. The mob didn't like that. It was too flashy. He was becoming a star. People started knowing him outside of New York. In California, he was starting to see, it wasn't blogs back in the day, it was the paper. He was starting to make like the, what's it called, a little section in the paper for celebrities, you know what I mean? Like page 6 in New York. He was starting to make the papers in other states, man. The mob didn't like that, you know what I mean? That was too much attention. So I guess back in the day it worked too. But, you know, John was trying to be in the spotlight. Like, he was trying to be out there. Melly, on the other hand, you know, he's just a street dude. He's just a street guy. Some people may know him as a family man. Some people may know him as a good friend, good brother. I'm sure he has parents that love him dearly. You know, so that's why I try not to speak bad about any of these brothers. He lost his life to gun violence. From all intents and purposes, what I hear about his death sounded like it could have been resolved with a couple of conversations and things like that. Most of the fanatics in the comments that I see about Melly that big him up would be all the negative shit also, right? Because I don't see anyone in the comments saying, oh, yo, Melly was a great family man, blah, blah, blah. So the question is, what are y'all a fan of? Right? And we're not just talking about Melly, right? We're talking about all guys like him, because this is 2023. It is a common thing now to see non-entertainers become famous. Like, these guys ain't got no jokes, got no raps, they ain't making no beats. You know what I mean? Like, they're not doing none of that. So, them getting famous, how does that happen? And what are y'all a fan of? And let's ask another question, right? Because it hit different when we see in Chicago people dying every day. Right? So these people, these fans or fanatics who don't live in Chicago are fans of what? The violence that is plaguing our neighborhoods? That's the question. What are you guys a fan of when it comes to non-entertainers? Are you a fan of their story, I guess? It's confusing to me because I really don't get it. I don't get how gangsters can become famous all around the world when they're not necessarily trying to be. You see what I'm saying? Because when you think about it, in the history of Chicago gangsters, I mean, Melly wouldn't be at the top. You know what I mean? Even in recognition-wise, like. But yet, he's probably, at this point, next to like Al Capone or something, probably the most famous gangster. He's probably more famous than Al Capone. Right? Does a 17-year-old kid from Great Britain know the fuck Al Capone is, Frank Nitti and them boys? Dude, I don't think so. I think they probably know who Yamel is, though. And they probably put a couple comments under 1,000 fucking YouTube posts. So does it add to the violence? Does it add to the clout? Does it add to the story? Does it add to anything that we're doing? I mean, I know that bloggers can put a post up, and it's good for them, right? But what does it add to the culture? And what the hell are y'all a fan of? How can a non-entertainer become popular in France? I don't get it. But anyway, this is Drilly. This is the first edition of the Drill Season Convos. I'm going to have a couple of more of these. You know, this just the shit that be going on in my brain, because y'all know I be thinking. I be smoking and thinking. So enjoy this one. I'll be back with another one. Y'all put the guns down. Stay safe. Everybody, please stay safe.